And former President Trump is not testifying in the New York Attorney General's civil fraud trial today. He announced a change of plans a day ahead of that planned court appearance. Meanwhile, the special counsel is revealing new evidence in the January 6th case, urging the judge to deny Trump's request to delay that trial. Let's bring in senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky, along with ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer and senior reporter Catherine Falder's outside court in Washington for more. So, Aaron, why isn't Trump testifying today in New York?
He says he doesn't need to. He already did once, as he was called by the state in the civil fraud trial, and he said there's really nothing left for him to say. He says the judge and the case are a disgrace and that he's proved his case with expert testimony. This expert that's been on the stand of late said there are disclaimers on his statements of financial condition that the judge has already determined were fraudulent, and so there really wasn't a need for him to come and do this again.
Brian, Trump's attorney had tried to delay his testimony, arguing that this limited gag order that he's under in this case would make it incomplete. What do you make of that and where this whole issue stands now?
It's a delay tactic. From a legal standpoint, it doesn't really make sense. It is a limited gag order. This is not a gag order where he cannot talk about probably the merits of the case or argue his case in the court of public opinion. This is just don't attack the people associated with the judicial system as a whole. It's surprising that you need a gag order for this. None of my clients ever have gag orders for this. We just say, you know what, you're on trial for a case. Don't speak about the clerk. Don't speak about the prosecutor's family. Don't speak about the judge. It's just common sense. But unfortunately, common sense needs to be enforced with an order here.
Do you think he will end up having to testify?
Whether or not he has to testify, I think, comes down to the evidence that comes before him. And I don't think he will have to. But in terms of whether he wants to, I think that's a different thing. Because what we've seen so far is that the podium and the stomping ground and the election is all the same for Donald Trump. Whether he's being charged with a crime or he's out there campaigning, it's another opportunity for him to further his agenda.
Aaron, I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, he's not going to testify in the civil case. The ship has effectively sailed. The defense is likely to rest tomorrow. There's going to be a brief rebuttal case, written submissions, closing statements, that's it. But Brian is right that the legal defense, whether it's for the civil case or for the 4 criminal indictments that he faces, he's tried to incorporate into his political messaging, whether that's on a witness stand, whether that's in the hallway or outside on the campaign trail. It's all one and the same.
And Catherine, I want to bring January 6th into this because delay tactics in general are very common for Trump's legal teams, particularly given the timing of all of these cases. So what's the latest in the January 6th case and the judge now trying to make sure that trial isn't delayed?
Right, they are. And Trump's legal team has asked the judge to essentially halt all of these pretrial January 6th hearings and motions and deadlines while they appeal their various motions to dismiss. Now, we've heard special counsel Jack Smith's team say through court filings to the judge that they don't think that this should be delayed or stalled in any way. They're imploring the judge to go forward with all the deadlines and to hear various different evidence and hearings prior to any decision on this. But what we've learned through Smith's filings is essentially a roadmap for their investigation, who they've spoken to, what evidence they plan to introduce at trial. For example, we learned, according to Smith's team, they revealed through filings the extent of this evidence, but in particular, the fact that they've talked to multiple former top Trump intelligence officials who said to the special counsel very directly that when they were asked if there's been any foreign or domestic interference in voting machines, if there were any foreign or domestic actors, for example, that flipped any one vote, all of them said no. So this is scheduled to go to trial in 3 months, a little under 3 months from now. The special counsel wants to keep that on track so it's not delayed anywhere past March 4th.
And Catherine, while this is all happening, jury selection is also beginning in former Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani's defamation trial today. That judge already found Giuliani liable for defaming 2 election workers. So what's at stake there?
What's at stake is how much money and damages Giuliani will ultimately have to pay. We know Ruby Freeman and Shea Moss, those are those 2 election poll workers in 2020 in Fulton County, Georgia, that Giuliani claimed without evidence that they were tampering with ballots in some way, shape, or form. They're seeking damages up to $43 million. So that's what this trial will determine, how much money Giuliani has to pay. We're in the jury selection phase, as you mentioned. This is likely to be a short trial. Attorneys for Moss and Freeman said that they believe their case will last 2 to 3 days. It's likely this could be all wrapped up by the end of the week.
All right, Aaron Katersky, Catherine Falder's, Brian Buckmeyer, thank you all.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.